past, many people have thought that global warming was just a way to scare people into thinking that the world was going to end. However, it is now almost impossible to deny the fact that our planet is breaking records for the warmest winters in history.
Global warming is essentially a gradual increase in the overall temperature of the Earth's atmosphere, generally attributed to the greenhouse effect caused by increased levels of carbon dioxide, chlorofluorocarbons, and other pollutants.
A common misconception about this issue is that it will only affect the poles, but that is just not true. Especially now, global warming is affecting people and their daily lives.
In the past 50 years, the Earth's average temperature has risen 2 degrees Fahrenheit, which is making it harder for us to live in every way.
This increase in temperature is directly correlated with the increase in prices for food, the decrease in fresh water sources, the increase in coastline damage from rising sea levels, the increase in tropical storms, and the increase in the number of wildfires from the planets being drier and warmer.
All of these things will make it harder for us to live comfortably on the planet, in addition to making it dangerous to live on the planet, which means that something needs to be done about this issue, and the first step is to educate.
We only get one home. We only get one planet. There's no plan B. I don't want millions of people's lives disrupted and this world more dangerous because we didn't do something about it.
Climate change, more commonly referred to as global warming, is a pressing issue that is not only facing the United States, but the entire planet. It is caused by the release of harmful gases such as carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. These greenhouse gas emissions trap heat in our atmosphere, and when billions are released, they cause monumental changes. What are greenhouse gases? The major contributors are carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Although some changes can be attributed to the planet's natural processes, such as shifts in the currents and sun energy, the majority of emissions are caused by these gases. Greenhouse gases are much more than emissions into the air. They affect the environment, health, and businesses around the world.
The Earth contains a wide array of wildlife from all different regions and climates. The rapid increase in the Earth's overall temperature means that some species might not be able to adapt or survive in the new conditions. One species of animals most affected by global warming is the polar bear. The greatest population of polar bears lives in the Arctic Sea, where the ice is melting rapidly and the bears are struggling to survive. They rely on the ice to hunt for food, and as long summer months without ice get longer and longer, the polar bears go hungry. The U.S. Geological Survey predicts that 2/3 of the polar bear population will disappear completely by 2050. Another animal highly affected by the rising temperature is the moose. This species thrives in cooler weather, so the warm climate affects them immensely. The population of moose has plummeted by 40% in the last decade, since heat leads to dropping weights, a decrease in pregnancy, and increased vulnerability to disease. Warmer weather also leads to increased parasite loads, such as ticks, that weaken the moose and leave them more vulnerable.
Many health problems have started due to global warming. For example, global warming increases smog pollution, which intensifies pollen allergies and asthma. Scientists discovered that the smog pollution creates a higher level of carbon dioxide that triggers an increase in the growth of weeds such as ragweed. The number of people with pollen allergies and asthma has increased worldwide over the last several decades. Also, air pollution makes allergies worse because diesel exhaust particles can interact with pollen and deliver it deeper into the lungs. Because of very warm temperatures, there have been widespread outbreaks of infections like malaria, dung fever, tick-borne encephalitis, and diarrheal illnesses. Disease-carrying mosquitoes are spreading as the climate allows them to survive in these warm areas. Malaria has been found in Indonesia and Africa, posing new risks to millions of impoverished people whose health is already challenged.
The ultimate goal for containing global warming was established at the Paris Conference of 2015. Held in Paris, France, the conference was held from the end of November to December 12, 2015. The leaders of over 146 countries, including the United States, met about the global climate crisis and established target goals for the next 100 years. The ultimate goal is to limit global warming to 2 degrees Celsius higher than the global average temperature currently over the next 100 years. To achieve this goal, the scientific community is conducting research to determine what exactly needs to be done for this to happen. Scientists have projected that this calls for complete removal of greenhouse gas emissions sometime between 2030 and 2050. This radical landmark agreement was the first of its kind, and more particularly the first global agreement that established an effective change in global policy. Another main goal of the conference was to figure out how to adapt the effect of global warming without harming food production. This is a major issue because there have already been many adverse effects of global warming, and the conference established a team to help adapt the world to these effects without damaging the food production super-industry. The final aim of the Paris Conference was to control and direct the global financial flow away from greenhouse gas emission industries. Countries are now expected to have their greenhouse gas emissions peak as soon as possible and begin financial differences in policy soon afterwards. The financial flow is being directed towards climate-resilient action and a pathway to greenhouse gas emission reduction. The financial flow is being directed towards climate-resilient action and a pathway to greenhouse gas emission reduction.
The EPA, or the Environmental Protection Agency, has been tracking the effects of global warming since the first signs of the issue began as early as the 1800s. Their research has consisted of analyzing the effects that the rising temperatures have had on the planet and those who inhabit it, while further discussing what the proper solutions are to solve them. Over the years, they have realized that without cooperation from not only the government, but humans as well, there will be no way that we can reverse the effects from the damage that has already been done to the planet because of global warming. The EPA has tried their best to share their information with the world, hoping that people will take notice of what is happening. However, not much has successfully been done to improve the problem. In addition, NASA has been tracking global statistics for over a century. They update these facts daily while reporting news and article features. They have the technologies to understand and collect data from all over the planet, especially the North Pole and deep sea levels. Unlike the EPA, NASA has been able to reach the general public with interactive apps and climate initiatives that encourage citizen participation. This not only helps educate the public, but also helps get people on board with trying to limit their pollutant usage and participate in global projects to reverse the effects of global warming. We will continue researching the following topics: what the effects of global warming are, what is being done to help slow its process, and how we will ultimately overcome and eliminate the issue. We need to continue researching because new discoveries are coming out every day, and new ideas are being proposed in connection with the effects of greenhouse gas pollution and global warming as a whole. Research will help us understand the methods used to slow down the damages caused by greenhouse gases and ultimately understand what exactly we can do as individuals to prevent global warming's disastrous effects.
There are more than 7 billion people alive today. No matter what country they're from, no matter what language they speak, every one of them can look at this image and say, that's my home. And we're the first generation to feel the impact of climate change. We're the last generation that can do something about it.
All in all, reversing the effects of global warming is not a job for one person. It is a job for every person in every city, in every state, and in every country. It is not only our job, but it is our duty to save this planet because it is our only home.